There's a place called a gin mill way down in the slums. There's a place called a gin mill way down in the slums. My baby goes that night and stays till the morning.
By the way, speaking of addictions,
he's got Facebook Live.
I've been addicted to Periscope for the past week and a half. I can tell you that much.
We haven't even talked about vagina once.
Vagina?
What?
Oh, we can do that here. We can talk about vagina.
And we're back. Speaking of vagina, Brendan, what do we got? Brendan, bring us back.
So those Gaithers were a wild bunch, weren't they?
Hey,
Man. Wild bunch.
The Gaithers? Who are the Gaithers?
Too wild and
wild
crazy
stuff.
You've not seen anything till you've seen Bill Gaither throwing the shocker. I'll tell you that. That's that will
Was that a
change
thing back then?
The shocker?
Well, it was, but they just didn't.
Tell me that's not the same shocker I'm thinking about.
They just didn't call it the shocker. And
I meant to say jumper cables. That's what I meant.
There we go.
That makes more sense.
right,
But either way, I'm equally turned on.
right, yeah.
All right, well, before we get too far into this, we're back with, again, we were having too much fun a few weeks ago, so we had to have Jeremy Brown and Mr. Rick Garrett back again.
Hello.
Rick Garrett. Oh, I like that.
Mister.
Yeah.
Sounds professional.
So Rick Garrett.
I get that too. I think it's the gray hair. I think it's the gray hair. I get that too. I get either called Grandpa or Yes Sir. Lots.
I just get called, get away from me, old man. You're scaring me.
Get away with that sliding door van.
Free Pokemon inside.
With your candy and midgets and balloons and all kinds of fun inside your van.
I got rare Pokemon in here, damn it.
All right, well, here we go. Back at Pokemon. I think we started last show with Pokemon.
We don't have to go there.
This is like 5 weeks old.
No kidding. By the time this airs, Pokemon will probably be all forgotten about.
I hope so.
You know, I hope, but I don't care. Who cares if people are having fun with it? But it's so funny to on Facebook how mad people get about what you're doing or some people are doing, but then they'll be inside playing, watching wrestling, but then getting mad at some people playing Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's funny,
But it's not real. It's
cares,
not
man?
real.
To each their own.
They're having fun, so who
But
cares?
stay out of my.
Let's not besmirch the good name of wrestling, please.
I bet you by now, Pat's been playing Pokemon for like
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I have not downloaded it all. I may not have much of a life.
But you
I got a life.
mentioned how can it be an addiction?
Let's be honest.
Well, yeah, there you see some things on there. People are like, oh, I'm addicted to Pokemon already, or this and that. It's been out for what, 3 weeks?
Hey, listen, Cowboys.
How can it be an addiction?
You're all Cowboys.
Honestly,
people are giving up their
senior.
jobs. There's people
What?
giving up their
You're all
jobs to be a
You're
Pokemon
all Cowboys
trainer.
like 20-year senior.
yeah.
I've played it.
And, well, of course, because you don't have a life.
Well, I saw the big thing now is that there are people that are charging to be your Pokemon guide.
Yeah, they're being
drive you
kidding?
around and.
Yeah.
I saw that one, the
Yes.
Uber guy who's like, I will
Are
drive
you
you around a
kidding me?
Pokemon. No, the Uber guy he advertised out.
What's his name?
Listen, if you're an Uber driver, that's like
Pikachu,
the
I
best.
think. Is that right?
That's got to be the best thing ever. Why wouldn't you do that?
Oh, I would in a heartbeat.
That's opportunism right there, and it's great.
Right. I'll be your Pokemon guide. You're still going to get paid the same amount to drive people around for 4 or 5 hours.
What's sadder is the people who are paying to get driven around to catch freaking Pokemon.
Yeah.
Can you scramble their Wi-Fi so they keep driving them around? Oh, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you can. Sad that I know, but yeah, you can.
Have you had anybody, Hunter? Has anybody showed up in the neighborhood or any place you like?
Yeah, some kid
you're
was
out with
walking through my yard the other day.
Did you
but
shoot
there
him?
wasn't. No, I did not shoot
You
him.
can legally shoot them if they're in your yard. Do you know that?
Well,
You can legally
your
kill
backyard, the unfenced part,
kill
or
a
in the
12-year-old
fenced?
if they're in your yard.
Yeah, well, no, he just walked through. There was no Pokemon in my yard. I assured him as I chased his ass down. But no, there was no Pokemon in the yard. He was just walking through, looking at his phone. So I mean, he could have been. I don't know. He could have been watching YouTube. I don't know. But
By the way, this brings up.
He's
It was
walking
a funny-
through your
funny-
yard watching YouTube. Of course he was.
There's this funny story the other day.
Catching
of
my
these,
Wi-Fi.
like 8 and 9-year-old brother and sister, and they go up to this door and knock on the door. Go up the door, and the guy answers. He goes, "What's going on?" Well,
Trick or treat.
Me and my sister realized that there's a Pikachu in your backyard. He goes, "A Pikachu? Yeah, a Pikachu, and we want to go catch him." Slams the door in their face, runs out the back door, and he's the new owner of a Pikachu.
Oh, damn!
Awesome.
8, 9-year-old. I mean, come on, seriously, a house owner. Gotta be, 30s, whatever. Slams the door to 8 and 9-year-old.
Screw you kids. I'm getting that Pikachu.
That's pretty
I know there's
funny.
been at least one
Whatever.
arrest because a guy
Two
walked.
deaths. Two deaths.
This is an arrest. The guy walked into, just started tracking his whatever he was looking for into the police station.
Yeah.
And he had a warrant out for his arrest.
there were cops.
They recognized the guy. He didn't even know.
Yeah.
There were cops somewhere who set the station up, or it may not have been the station, it may have been some location, but they were doing it like they do those things where free giveaway, and they tell all the guys with warrants, so they come in. They were catching guys with warrants, just like that.
And but they were chasing Pikachu.
Yeah,
Or Pokemon.
They set it up as a Pokestop or whatever they're called.
That's got to be the biggest badass story if you go to prison. You know what I mean? It's like, what'd you do to get in here? It's like, I killed 3 people with my bare hands. And what'd you do? I robbed 4 banks. What'd you do to get in here? And it's like, I was chasing Pikachu and
Squirtle
and the cops got me. I
Yeah,
saw
let's
that
do it.
and no one else did, but you motioned to him. He knows what Squirtle is, so
Yeah.
I think he's a little more involved than what he
Yes.
makes
Yeah.
out.
I watch the news and I read lots.
I bet
I have
you
no.
do.
I
Yeah,
will show
whatever.
my phone. There's no Pokemon.
Well, I
Go
don't
on
want to
the
see
phone.
what's on your phone.
His Pokemon
Oh, yeah,
Go
you
app
do.
name is
Hey, just 'cause you
Old
delete-
Man Rivers.
Just because you deleted it before you came here, it doesn't mean it wasn't on there before you.
I had a Squirtle one time, but I got some cream to clear it up.
I had a Squirtle one
Tell your
time,
wife?
but that charges
Did you
$5 extra. If she does that, and
I had the Squirtles once. I took Imodium AD.
That's a whole new porn search right there. Squirtle.
It's not a whole new porn
anyone
search,
that's
I'm here
listening to
tell
this
you.
podcast, go home and Google Squirtle.
See what
And
comes
then,
up in the first 5.
Go to the Instagram
entries.
Blind Pigs website and make us win this thing. All right.
I got some URLs you can all go to.
So last show, I didn't get to chime in here, but we were talking about the different places that we've frequented with
I thought you were gonna say
dancing
Squirtle.
dancing ladies.
Dancing ladies,
No.
ladies of the
Dancing-
exotic nature.
I don't
Dancing
have
Squirtles?
a crazy story, but I used to live in Alabama, so I'd travel up and down 65, and right there, I think do you already know?
I think so.
Okay,
Oh,
right
no.
right on the border of Alabama and Tennessee, there is a place called the Booby Bungalow. You know, don't you?
I do.
Oh no!
Is this the one shaped like 2 big boobs?
No, it should be.
No,
but
that's
it's
actually
called
out in
the
Arizona.
Booby Bungalow, the greatest name ever. So I did stop in one time,
pretty good.
and it was very late, and I regret stopping in that late.
No, you
we'll just
don't.
no, I do.
No, you don't.
It was not.
What
a good
day of the
time.
week was it?
No.
You're telling the story
I
right
don't
now.
remember.
You do not regret it.
You
was not a
said
Friday
not
or
late.
Saturday.
Did you miss happy hour? Is that why
I don't
you were-
know.
You missed the buffet?
I missed,
Yeah.
I,
The Denver omelets.
I
You missed
may
the
have
Denver
missed
omelets.
the main act, we'll call it. I don't know
So-
because what I saw wasn't. Yeah, we'll just moving on.
Were there ping pong balls involved?
There was Pokeballs involved.
If anyone's ever been up north into Michigan, there's like an exotic bookstore or adult
Lions
The
theme
Lion's
store.
Den?
The Lion's Den.
Those are everywhere.
They're all
Actually.
over
Those
the
are
place.
everywhere.
So
Yep.
me and my wife we're actually married up in New Buffalo, Michigan, and so we go up to like New Buffalo and Holland, Michigan, or whatever
Okay.
every year on vacation. And so for whatever reason, every time I see it, they have a big billboard. It says the Lion's Den.
Yes.
I do it in Dusty Rhodes accent. If you know who that is.
Yeah.
I was like,
the
it's
wrestler?
the Lion's Den. It's the and my wife gets such a kick out of it. But I always, every time, the first time I ever see that, stop into the Lion's Den with the. And so we've never been to one, but
Why not?
I kind of want to.
They are
You got to,
everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was just like an up north in the
Nope,
region.
not at
No,
all.
Is
they're
that the
all over
region?
place.
I've driven from Orlando to Texas and from Arizona to Orlando and Orlando up to Indiana, and they are literally out there.
Yeah.
They're usually just
It's
way
a
out in the
chain
middle
like
of nowhere.
Hardee's
Yeah.
or whatever.
I thought it was too because I never saw them until I was here and saw them in southern. I'm from northern Michigan.
I think Lions.
I've seen them around there, and I thought
Did
it was
Hardee's
a play
get that
on
big
the
of a laugh?
Lions.
That's awesome.
I think Lions Den might actually be cleaner.
Have you Have you been to all of them, Pat?
Yeah, I've never ate
Are
it.
they all the same inside?
I've never ate at a
they're all the
Lion's
same.
Den.
Okay.
I've never
It's
ate
like-
at a Lion's Den.
It's like going to Walmart. It's all the same. It's all laid out the same. You know.
I think it's more obscure.
Their
like
rollback was
like
a little different, though,
Crystal.
probably.
The rollback.
It's only for anybody who's not.
It's kind of
been
one of
cut.
those places you go where you're willing to pay the extra money to not get the rollback. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm good. I got enough money to handle this. It's like I'm not rich, but I can handle it.
I don't
Yeah.
want that blue light special.
I think they have a. I think they might have a
The
drive.
blue,
Did
I
you
think
say
it's called the blue.
fleshlight?
I think at the Lion's Den it's called the blue pill special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the,
They have a drive-through.
Those are right up the front counter.
They have a drive-through bris. You know,
And oddly
A
enough, they
drive-through brisk.
that's bris.
I'm really excited
That's
about
their
a
roll.
brisk.
That's their rollback.
oddly enough, they both have a supersize me option.
Oh, damn.
I mean, is it decent?
it's called the Jeremy Brown special. Because I'm 260 pounds, not because of
260 pounds. I remember that back in the 4th grade.
You have a perfect face for radio.
I was drinking a beer at that point.
You couldn't laugh.
I mean,
It's
yes,
okay.
I'm fat.
Many of the pigs are kind of big. It's okay.
Kind of. Fuck. We're like a metric ton when you add us all together.
a metric ton.
Yes, that's right.
Is
I
that-
think it's cool that you guys have the only actually wide-angle Instagram account. So that's
That's why I like
Why
him.
did we get nominated for that? The best wide-angle podcast.
You will be now. You will be now.
How do you get a wide-angle podcast?
Trust us. It happens.
You mount the camera a mile away, and it still looks like you're right there.
all our Facebook posts and anything are always a panoramic.
So here
only
at
5
Alley's,
of us.
we're up on the stage. They had to reshore up the stage for us.
There's a
got
like,
a
New
stronger
support
table, too.
beams
Yeah.
and
new support, metal table legs and everything. You know.
Yeah.
And it just struck me, Hunter really does not fit with the rest of
He
these
doesn't.
guys. You know,
No.
I don't know what the deal is
No.
here. He's,
hey, I'm working on my beer.
you're the
gut,
token
so.
skinny guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The to-
We keep feeding him beer and Twinkies.
I've never been called a token before. I'm kind of okay with that.
I said Cowboy and Hunter,
Yep.
two different people, but if you say it without the pause, Cowboy Hunter.
It sounds right.
No, it sounds
like
like
a couple.
gay bar.
it sounds like a professional wrestler with assless pink chaps,
It does.
like the bounty
really
hunter
does.
hunting
When you said
cowboys.
it, I
Just
Time
like,
out. Time out. Don't judge our bedroom antics.
no, I'm not judging. There's no judging here. I'm just pointing it out.
Again,
I'm
wide
just-
angle.
All right.
We're normally shot in 16 by 9.
Of course you are.
1080p. Gotta get that clear.
1080p, son.
What? What?
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, that's what I was referring to earlier.
What?
The dick toucher.
Where the hell do we get to the dick toucher?
Jordan
I
is
thought you
here.
just-
Even our
Again.
guest is like, "What the hell?"
I thought you just typed something.
Oh, that was Jordan.
Yeah, so
Jordan
let's
Jordan
make sure
is out
everybody-
on the road.
That
Jordan,
was,
our
uh,
other pig.
By the way, we're passing around photos right now.
By the way, Dick Toucher was my nickname in high school.
You and Jordan would get along great.
Jordan-
And
obviously.
at Morty's,
Yeah.
oddly enough.
Yeah, if you, I'm sure he'll eventually post it to the pig page at least. But if
But
you're
I like
following
how
Jordan,
Yeah, he was wearing a blind pig shirt at the time.
he did. Yeah, he got the picture, blind pig shirt. He is standing next to a 12, 15-foot statue
That
and
next to-
reaching
yeah.
up
He's
Yeah.
standing. He's standing
and grabbing
under. That's what
balls.
he's doing.
I mean, he's standing on his tiptoes to grab a
He
Big
is.
Johnson.
Grab a
But
big
here's the
Johnson.
thing. Here's the thing.
Hey,
I would
who of all of us hasn't done that before? Stand on your tiptoes to grab a Big Johnson.
I mean, not that I would.
I mean, I'm
Holly. Holly is the only one that's never stood on her tiptoes to grab a Big Johnson.
Oh, dang.
She never passed a Big Johnson and said, "You know what? That's a good idea."
Right. Let's stand on my tiptoes to.
Oh shit!
Where'd we go? What
I
happened?
don't know.
She might have stood on a chair, but she never stood on her tiptoes.
Yeah, we got to get him on a ladder first.
So,
We said Big Johnson.
getting off the Johnson.
Really? You're going to say that?
Me first.
Hey, for everyone, Brandon said
He's
get
never,
off the Johnson.
He has never asked to get off first. I'll tell you that much. So what are you drinking over there?
We heard that.
I'm sorry, hold on. All right, let us compose ourselves.
This is Evil Czech Voodoo.
So we're going with our
Vanilla
sample
rye
beer of the
porter.
night.
Was that the sample beer?
This is our sample beer of the night. Did you already drink your sample
I
beer?
did. It was amazing. It was really good.
We
No,
got
I
an
enjoyed
extra
it.
one over here if you want to try again.
And do you have another one?
She wants to try again.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Oh no,
hey.
give it to.
Our,
make sure Holly
designated
gets one.
driver
No,
is
here-
wait.
here
No.
we go.
He's the
Jeremy,
designated
Jeremy.
driver.
All right, as long as it's not dark outside.
It's dark in
Grace
your.
got it.
It's wait a minute. Time out. It's dark in your glass, not outside.
Okay.
Anybody
I
else
don't
just
know-
get creeped
I don't know how
out?
to take that one.
Anybody else just get creeped out a little bit?
So
Fine.
I'm
We'll
gonna
cut that out.
Oh,
Go home
look.
and shower.
You can really smell the
She
vanilla
looks like
in
she
this,
just
though.
grabbed Johnson.
They have
Sorry.
a poker tournament over here. Is that
right.
what's going on?
Oh, yeah, they do have poker here at Alley's
They do.
on Tuesday nights.
I'll have to come up and do
Really?
it sometime. You play, Jeremy?
I love to play poker.
I do too.
Poker in the front. Look
Poker
right back.
mom.
Poker Mom. There we. You know, there's going to be a porn movie out soon.
Oh.
with that now.
Yeah.
Time out.
This
It
isn't
was
quite
done
as
a long
It
time
was
ago.
oh shit! He already knows it was done. Apparently, so there's a porn movie called Poker
All
Mom.
right. Well,
Yeah,
Okay, Poker
Has
Mom.
it got a Squirtle?
it does. It definitely has a Squirtle.
All right, so on to our friends at Evil Czech with the Vanilla Rye Porter.
thank you for going on with the beer sample.
Yeah,
Thank
I have
you.
to.
Yes.
Well, we got to take care of some people. You know, Brendan, what do you think?
And what is this from? Where is this from?
This is,
From Evil Czech,
Czech.
actually up in Michigan,
Oh, nice.
Mishawaka.
Mishawaka.
We'll say on the border.
on the board.
In the
Yeah,
region.
sorry.
In the region.
Is it the
One
region?
of my favorite Al Stewart songs.
Mishawaka.
On the border. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Who the hell's Al Stewart? What?
Year of the Cat? Time Passages?
Nope.
Oh, man.
Nope.
Have you ever heard of John Denver?
Yeah. It's the reason why he got kicked out of college.
It is. It is. Love me some John Denver.
All right, I got to hear more about that
Everybody
story.
should love John Denver.
I gotta hear more.
I like this.
Well, how was
It's
it? Well, we're gonna
it's
we're
not
gonna
as
talk about this,
creamy
and then we're gonna talk
as a
about John
porter
Denver.
I usually like.
No,
you know,
it's-
porter
I
to
think
me
it's
is usually creamier, and it's light. I don't know if that rye is cutting into that creaminess.
It's
maybe.
on point with an Evil Czech though.
Yeah, it's
Evil
good.
Czech
It is.
always has that
They're on.
not following the line.
Yeah.
I mean, they're always a
different than
little
what you
bit.
expect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But they're not too far out that it's odd. It's always still palatable. Everything's great. I've never had any problem with these guys.
I really get the hints of the vanilla in their aroma.
I get that
But,
rye.
but when I
The rye's
take
way-
the drink though, I think the rye takes over for me.
Yes.
And it's really smooth and it's really well balanced. It's not heavy at all.
I got the rye on the sides of the tongue going down. Hop is on the back end, and the vanilla is straight up on the front.
I get very little hops on this.
Yeah, I'm not getting a lot of hops. I'm getting that rye. Like I said, I think that
Yeah.
rye is cutting into the creaminess of it. To me, it's not as creamy as a porter, but
I think the
I agree.
rye cuts through the. There's a slight IPA, but it's a drinkable. I mean, for me, just my opinion. I'm not an IPA person, but it's got that touch of IPA,
That's
and the rye and the vanilla cuts through that to where it's drinkable.
Yeah.
For me, just not being an IPA person,
and that's where I was getting that, that hop.
I would
I'm
probably
getting that
order
hop.
this. Yeah, whatever.
I do at the
I'm getting
end.
that hop like you with the IPA hop on the back of the tongue right
but
there.
but it's not overpowering to
No.
where because I'm not an IPA person. I would drink this and probably order another one, and to where I don't know. I like it.
As I
Yeah,
learn
it's good.
more, and these guys have been doing a lot longer than and I never used to really think about the seasonal type of the beer and all that. But this is a good winter. This will be a good winter
See,
beer.
this to me is a fall beer.
Fall winter beer. This will
Yeah.
be.
I'm
It's
gonna-
not a summer beer because it's still a little too pungent for that to be able to drink all through the summer. You know, out in the heat.
Oh, I agree.
In my mind.
Well, and
but I
porters
didn't-
and stouts generally aren't.
Right, but I never used to believe in that. I kind of thought it was a lot of bullshit.
I'm going to drink my Miller Lite year round.
Well, no, but it's but no, but
No,
even,
I mean,
even
I'm
the
being dead
stouts.
serious. I mean, I'm being serious about that.
No, you're right. Yeah.
I used to
Well,
think it was
again, though,
bullshit, but then as if you start doing a lot of this, like we have, and I've been getting into it, you actually learn it's like wine now. I mean, there's a place for each kind of wine and a time for each
There's
kind
a
of wine.
rhyme and a reason for a beer.
I never thought beer would ever get to that point.
There's wine and a reason.
There is no wine and reason with beer.
But I told Brandon a while ago when I first drank this, I tasted that little touch of
definitely got
IPA,
that happen.
but it was still drinkable
Yeah.
because I don't like IPAs, but everything else kind of overrode it. Is that
Oh, yeah.
ride it?
What'd your
Rode
wife?
it?
What'd your wife think over there?
Miss Holly, what'd
Miss
you think?
Holly?
It makes my tongue happy.
Unlike Rick.
Oh,
You see what I did there? I made an oral sex joke.
You made a funny.
Okay.
No. I prefer porters and stouts, and this is a really nice, smooth, drinkable. I smell and taste the vanilla.
Yeah.
All the way through, but it like you said, it's not too much IPA to make it bitter.
Yep.
It's very well balanced. I enjoyed it very
Oh, why did I meet you 6 years ago? Oh my God.
That was a
Because you
phenomenal
on
review.
MySpace.
That was nice.
Boom!
Because I was on MySpace. You're right.
Makes my tongue happy.
I had $1 for
Can we,
every
can
time
we
I
get her
heard
to
that.
record?
I was gonna say,
Can we get her to record that? We might actually need to break that out because we can use that in some promos.
That
for some
should
of
be
these
your
guys.
your
I was
intro.
gonna
That
say,
should be your intro.
That is gonna
It
be the
makes my
intro
tongue
for every
happy.
show.
Welcome to the Blind Pigs podcast. It makes my tongue happy.
Yeah, she's staying here for a little bit. We're gonna record that a couple times.
Rick and Jeremy, you guys can leave.
Thanks for being on the show, guys.
We found.
Peace out. We're going. Holly, headphone up. We're mic up, lady.
What do you know about Pokemon?
Seriously.
No, there was somebody who mentioned something on something about John Denver and something about getting kicked out of school.
There was so I grew up a independent, fundamental, premillennial, King James only.
What
Baptist.
the hell?
Yeah.
How do you put that on a business card?
So
It's
So
a really
very
big.
small
It's a
font.
really big business card.
so the way I grew up was we did not have a TV, a radio, a telephone. We had not a TV, a radio, didn't have tape players.
So sweet tea is a
Nothing
way
like-
of life for you.
It is. It is.
Can't you just say Amish and move on? I mean,
Thank you for killing my bit,
that,
Jeremy. I appreciate
that would have been
that.
Mennonite. That would have been Mennonite. You had a phone.
sorry, Mennonite. You're correct.
So after high school, I went to Bible college and later on to seminary. But in Bible
Wait a
college,
minute, time out. You went from Bible college to comedian?
I did.
Like, how long of a stint was that?
It was a long time.
About 2 or 3 days.
We took almost the same paths except for the Bible school. On this
Really? Yeah. So I think I'm the only. I think I'm the only working comedian around here that actually has a master's degree in biblical languages.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
time out. I would guarantee
I would,
that.
I would definitely guarantee.
Have you ever?
So when I was in Bible college, I got kicked out because they found some contraband in my possession. And when I tell that story, people usually think it was weed or alcohol. What it was a John Denver record.
John
A
Denver.
John Denver.
Denver.
That's right.
How does
Contraband.
that contraband?
Wait, time,
Because he
which
was an
one?
earth worshiper.
Hippie.
Rocky Mountain High.
Hippie.
That
Yeah,
wasn't
a hippie.
That was
That's-
like one of his.
He was not even near a
Yeah, but
hippie.
you gotta think about what year this was.
I understand, but that was one of his most decent albums he ever had.
But I mean, how many lives did John Denver really ruin?
7.
Anyway? I mean,
Oh my God, I love that. Can I keep that?
at least one. I mean, in that plane crash, at least one.
Oh, damn.
Okay, did
Wow.
Did you
That's
know,
what they're serving over Montego Bay, Denver Nuggets. That's what they're
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Nice.
You see what I did there? I
did.
made fun of someone's death.
Wow.
And,
And nuts.
And
Did
added
Jim
nuts to
Lugers
it.
would be proud.
That would, yeah.
So did you know that there is a punk band named John Denver Flight Academy?
no.
Yes.
I'm going to look it up now, though.
Yes, John Denver Flight Academy.
well, they
I
are
remember-
geniuses.
I remember South Park did an episode, though, with the John Denver experience.
Oh, really? I did.
It was, like one of those pirate ships that swing, but it was a plane, and then it goes upside down into a body of water.
My God. I've never seen that. That's hilarious.
Look it up. South Park John Denver experience.
God, people are horrible. I love
We
it.
are awful. We're sad. I'm so sorry. He got kicked out for John
I just-
Denver.
I
Really?
just-
How was John Denver
I just love
contraband?
knowing there's people out there worse than us.
Wait, we know those people?
We don't, but we want
We
to.
want to.
Here's the thing: they're fans, so
No, they're not.
they're not after that comment.
No, that's who nominated us for best Instagram account.
That's the thing about comedy as well. It's like, how far do you go? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like it's a PC world. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. It's like I would rather do a joke and get a laugh over someone that's different than me, or a different color or different culture or whatever, I think it's better than to laugh at our differences. You know what I mean? Than fight over them.
Sure.
And so if you can tell, everyone's like, listen, if you're going to be offended, don't come to a comedy show.
Well, no doubt.
Because you're going to be offended at some point in time, and people push the envelope or whatever. And
speaking of which, you don't have to tell the joke, but I'm sure there's got to be a point at which you guys have told one that even you said or thought up. Well, obviously you probably thought up some where you just said, "No, too soon," or
no, don't listen to him. Tell the joke.
Has there been one? Has there been one that you really
For the
thought
love
that,
of God, tell the joke.
I shouldn't have done that one, or that one was just kind of over the line?
The only one that I got some negative feedback about was back 2 or 3 years ago, when Jeremy Lin.
You've only had one that you got negative feedback.
Jeremy Lin,
the NBA player.
The
Knicks. Yeah.
And so this was the year that he made his big debut and set all kinds of scoring records and so on. And the punchline to the joke was that he can shoot, but he cannot drive.
Oh, because he was Asian.
Yes.
Right? Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh, now I get it. Thank you.
No, thank you.
That's a pretty
I
funny
just,
joke. Yeah.
The only one I ever got any. I did a joke. I did a show at Morty's one time, and it was basically an all black. I think.
So you fit right in.
Me and the head, of course.
Was it during Black Expo?
No, I would have never told this joke during that. It
You
was,
have limits.
Me and I think the headliner were the only white people on the show, and so I did a joke about some people came in late and the show had to be held up. So for those of you who don't know, that's CPT. It's called CPT.
Yeah.
It's colored people time back in the day, but you're not supposed to say that anymore. But my friend in high school 20 years ago would show up 20 minutes late to my house.
Now.
I know, but he was black, so it's fine. So he would show up 45 minutes late to pick me up, and he's like, "Hey, CPT, don't worry about it," because he was late. So I said, "Hey, sorry the show's starting late. Some people had to invoke their CPT privileges to the show." Everyone laughed, and it was 95% a black crowd. So everyone laughed. And
the
then
other 5%.
The only white comic on the show said, "Dude, you totally lost him with that joke." And so I looked at the other black comics on the show and said, "Did I do something wrong?" They said, "No, that's what it's called. It's CPT. You're fine."
Okay.
Whatever.
All right.
Well, that's not a bad story.
No,
you got.
That's not a bad story.
But it's still rough. It's one of those ones where you're kind of like,
should I say this or not? But that's what it's called, and that's what I was told it was when my friend would show up 45 minutes late to pick me up for a date or whatever. It's CPT.
Now I definitely do believe you because your friend showed up wanting a date.
It was a double date, a-hole.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
We're going to pick up 2 other dudes.
Yeah, what now? Now I'm back on board.
Now you're back on board. Now you got it.
That sounds like a cowboy date.
See, he gets my humor.
Cowboy hunter.
Hi, this is Mel from Allie's Alehouse. Come check out Blind Pig Confessions every fucking Tuesday.
What's the best way to make it through a long work week? Take a midweek break and join the fun every Wednesday night at Allie's Alehouse in Fishers for Nico's Open Stage. Want to share your talent in front of a live audience? Whether it's breaking in some new material or jamming out to some favorites, Nico's Open Stage is the place to go for it. There's never a cover charge, and walk-ins are always welcome. Each week brings a featured artist and drink specials from Jack Daniels. Check out Nico's Open Stage on Facebook for more details. And come join the fun every Wednesday night at Allie's Alehouse, home of the boys of Blind Pig Confessions.
I'm Busey. This is Chili from Dos Ringos. You're listening to Blind Pig Confession.
Woo! Do you have jokes going to a show that you have in your pockets where you're like, okay, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to bring this one out? Do you you gauge your audience and then go, okay, I better go?
You have to, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
So do you have a
different
couple
sets?
different things you're going to do that night and go, okay, I'm going to go this way or that way? Or
Yeah. You definitely read your crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely. If it's a younger crowd, you do some
Pokemon.
maybe a little
It's hard to
Pokemon.
know before you get in
Pokemon.
there.
It is,
You can kind of gauge where you're going, but you don't really know until you get there.
No, yeah. I mean, you show up a little early and you kind of read your crowd or whatever. If it's an older crowd, I do some of my dad jokes or, stuff that my dad did back. I mean, Rick could probably do anything in his repertoire, and it's an old crowd. I mean, it's like he's going to get laughs.
I'm not sure how to take that. How you going to take that?
Because he's old.
What
That's
about
why we gave him the white
No, but
headphones.
of course you always kind of read. You try to read your crowd, and especially if you're going on like later on in the show or whatever.
I was
you
going to say,
see
what
they're
about the
laughing at
alcohol
or-
level? Is there a level of where, beginning a show and end of a show, or do you want to be in the
No,
middle
I
of that?
mean,
Because is there a
and
point where the crowd is too over the line or too under the line to get
I'm
jokes?
sure I can speak for Rick. If you're doing a show and you're doing, I've done earlier shows where I've done the same set in an earlier show and it got nothing. It got crickets. And I did it in the later show and it tore the house down because people were either drinking more or, it's just like
loose.
Yeah, the crowd's always. Rick, you can attest to doing earlier shows and late shows and how you get your laughs or whatever.
Yeah, late shows typically are better, unless you're doing a nursing home, and then 4 o'clock is like the prime. It's the prime hour right there.
They're done.
They're done. That's pudding time.
Pudding time, medication, bedtime.
It's definitely a profession. You have to have very thick skin and not worry about.
It's got to be hard.
Every show because you're going to have shows where crowds don't understand.
Totally, yeah.
So you have to have thick skin and be able,
Do you have those jokes where you quit caring? Like, this isn't going well at all. I'm just going to use.
I'm going to
shit
throw this
that I
at
don't
you.
care
You're
about.
gonna try to just throw shit out there because the whole show's going bad, and start using your material you haven't tried yet.
Because there's a lot of stuff I can think of right now that I would throw out there.
Oh, damn!
Listen,
so you're saying the show's not going well?
I've seen.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
I've seen. We were at a night at Morty's comedy joint one night, and the headliner. Crickets. It's like I've never seen a crowd hate comedy more than this crowd that was there. And here's the thing: it was an open mic night, and how the open mic night works at Morty's.
There's also
is like,
Vacation Bible School right across the street.
Right.
Yeah.
And Rick heads that up. So how this works at Morty's is everyone goes up, and the crowd is supposed to laugh at everybody that's on stage, and then at the end, everyone gets on stage and say, "Hey, let's hear it for Rick Garrett," or "Let's hear it for blah blah this," and then at the end, you're supposed to clap for the person you like the most.
Yeah.
So what people were doing was they weren't laughing for anybody because they didn't want.
They're waiting for.
Oh, Jesus.
You see what I'm getting? They didn't want, like, okay, if Brendan was up there and he did a 5-minute set, and they had like 2 people there for him, they would clap their ass off for Brendan.
Yeah.
And then, but even if people thought he was funny, they wouldn't clap because they didn't want him to win. That wasn't the thing. You know what I mean? So,
Wow.
Yeah.
so that's the problem with competitions is just clap for who you think is funny. At the end,
That's you're cut off. You're cut off.
That was funny.
I'm out. Thank you, Fishers, Indiana. Good night.
We see what you did there. That was hilarious.
But you see what I'm saying? It's like the crowds are going to react differently.
Yeah,
And it's like,
of course.
It seemed like through the whole thing, everyone like didn't laugh because they were there to see one person.
They were there to support one. It's like Nuvo. No, just kidding.
Oh,
No, just kidding.
Pat, that was a funny joke. Good job. That was a really good joke. I don't care what
Pie
anybody
should leave
says.
right now. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm out.
But no, I understand that completely.
I'm
They're
sure.
there
I mean,
for one person.
Rick. I mean, any comic has that. I mean, even touring comics that are going all over the United States will go to a club or a bar or whatever and just totally eat it because it's just not their scene. It's just not.
We used to do like because we a company we used to have karaoke stuff, and we had karaoke competition like the Idol and stuff. And you get the same kind of thing. You get people showing up for the one person, would never clap for anybody else, even though they enjoyed the music or the singing or the the act or whatever. but they're there just to make their friend win and all that. And yeah, that's rough as hell. That's got to be horrible.
It's like it's
the competition.
Yeah, I mean everyone's. I mean, funny to a certain extent. I mean, depending on your taste in comedy or whatever.
I don't know. Putin's not very funny.
What?
What? Putin. He said Putin is not very funny. You're right. He's not very funny. I'm sure he gets laughed at certain comic clubs. I mean, if depending on where he's performing at, he'd probably
commie clubs, not comic clubs.
Commie clubs.
And kind of on a serious note, I'm not really sure that comedy competitions are good for comedy.
Really?
Because
I agree.
They're a giant popularity contest, and suddenly somebody wins a contest, and they're going out there saying, being billed as winner of,
I think that's
Joe
true
Blow
for any kind of, especially local competition.
Exactly,
like that, because
exactly.
it's a popularity contest,
and it doesn't mean they're really good.
No, and you can have some very good people who may never perform, or kind of go back in, where these guys are very talented. I always wonder about that. People who even go to open mic nights and have a guitar, and man, these guys are good, and then they don't get the recognition because people might not know who they are here to
I've
somebody
seen
else.
many
in comics. I would think that for any kind of local, I think that's pretty harsh.
It is
I've seen many competitions where a guy would bring 15, 20 of his friends, and he could have got out there and told knock-knock jokes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and still won
and
because he's got all his friends are coming out. Oh, he's on stage, and they're all, and the guy that told the best structured jokes, the funniest jokes, and got the most laughs, didn't win because at the end of the show, and Rick can back me up on this, got the most claps because he got the most of his stupid friends that came out to see him.
So you're saying he brought a lot of friends?
Exactly. So my comedy contest horror story is I did a contest, and I actually have not done a contest for a long time. I kind of swore off them, but I did a contest several years ago, and it was to benefit a well-known charity. And the person that won did a Martin Short bit, word for word, and mannerism for mannerism.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, one of the things you're supposed to be judged on is originality, writing your own material.
Right.
But he ended up winning and going on to like a regional contest in Chicago where I'm sure he got annihilated because I'm sure somebody recognized what he did. But that's what I mean by maybe not being so good for the business of comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Because to be a good comic, first of all, you've got to be a good writer.
Yeah.
That's the heart of the business is being able to write original material.
And you got to be able to deliver.
And that's right.
I'm sure there's
timing.
I know. That's a good question. Do you see people, especially younger people, coming up and performing where you're like, man, they get really good jokes. They just don't know how to deliver them. I'm sure kind of like music. Do you guys...
Do you help them?
Pull them aside and go, all right, you got some
Here's
great
an
jokes.
interesting thing. When I first started doing comedy,
you had to obviously help Jeremy a lot.
I was very fortunate to work with some pretty big names early on, and without exception, those guys that have done, Comedy Central and HBO specials and The Tonight Show have just been so gracious and, would come up after a set in a non-threatening way, said, man, that was a great set. Hey, try this punchline for this joke. This might really work better. And I, I've tried to do that. I'm trying to pay forward what they gave to me. My pet peeve is the guy that's done two open stages that comes up and wants to tell us how to rewrite our jokes that have been working for years and years.
Get a little bit of gray hair first, and you tell me what to do. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Rick. I just thought it'd be funnier if you did the way I said.
Yeah, and Pat, you had gray hair since, 23?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've been telling everybody to do since I was 23.
Yeah.
So do you have any favorite, maybe artists out there, comics who maybe aren't as well known, up and coming artists that you think are going to be or should be?
Oh gosh, there's a few that I can think of. The first one that comes to my mind is Michael Malone, and I think you know Michael, Jeremy.
Oh yeah.
And Michael used to be here in Indianapolis. Now he's in L.A. Is that correct?
Yep.
And
he's in L.A.
Actually, just did a movie at Christmas time that's one of the most hilarious movies I've ever seen. And do you remember the name of it, honey? Bethlehem. Go look up the movie Bethlehem. It is incredible. Mike's incredible.
Like last year?
Yeah.
Bethlehem. Yeah, it's got a guy who's from
familiar.
Louisville called Rich Reagans, and he's in it. And
Derek. Derek from Nashville. Mike is really going places. Michael Malone, look him up. John Stites, who also got his start here in Indianapolis. I don't know if you know John or not. John also is out in L.A. He's a good one to look up.
DJ Dangler.
DJ is hilarious.
He's
He's the guy I saw here, and I would just
he's really smart. He's really funny. He's about 6'10".
Yeah,
he's a big dude. I mean, he just has stage presence, and he just commands attention. And just his stage presence on stage makes you want to listen to him.
You have to.
And absorb. Yeah, you have no choice. And then you hear everything he says, and he's just so smart, and he's so I don't know how to say it. He just you listen to everything he says, and then you get it.
He's really great at connecting with an audience, which a lot of comedians don't make that connection. They just want to stand up on stage and tell their jokes. But you've got to connect with the audience somehow, and he really is a master at that.
Yeah.
What about that oddball Jeremy Brown?
I like Jeremy.
Yeah. He's okay.
He's an up and comer.
Is he from Indy?
I'm not a big fan. I don't think a lot of him. And if he's there, I'll stick around. But I'm just like waiting on the next comment to come out. You know what I mean?
No, I get you. I get
it. Yeah.
There's a guy out of Chicago, I believe it's Chicago, Junior Stopka. If you've seen him, I think he's hilarious. I got the pleasure of seeing him with DJ one night, opening up for Doug Stanhope. I think is one of the best guys out there. But Junior was hilarious, and he was smart. I like that deadpan humor. I like
Stopka. Is that Polish? I'm out. I don't. I'm good. I don't want to.
So you probably have you watched Bob Newhart's early stand-up?
I love Newhart.
Yeah,
Newhart, I love that stuff. Mitch Hedberg was just a genius.
Oh yeah. Stephen Wright.
That stuff kills me. I mean, just that when you can tell a joke.
It's smart. It's just.
Yeah.
I seen Stanhope
do a
whole show.
It's there in their writing.
Do a whole show facing the brick wall. He was just like he had the microphone. And he was like he never turned toward the audience. But
he
it was
could
amazing.
get away with
it
that.
was
he could honestly
because everything that came out of his mouth was gold. It's like if you had to think about it for a minute, and then when you got it, you were waiting on the next thing he had to say. It was just, it's really good.
All right, well, let's get into this. Do you think there's any guys? Now, I can name a few. The big names out there who are maybe overrated.
Overrated?
Would you be willing to say that?
No, I'll say overrated.
Yes. Like the Dane Cooks of the world.
Oh, Tosh, obviously.
Jesselnick.
Jesselnick is a brilliant. I think he's hilarious.
I find him overrated.
One of the most brilliant comics out there.
Jesselnick,
I find him
I like
overrated.
Jesselnick.
George Lopez.
Oh yeah.
He stole half his stuff.
Yeah.
He rode what he did very hard. At first, when he came out, no one else was doing it. I feel like
I'm going a little bit bigger. Like I'm sorry, Richard Pryor to me is not funny. And they talk about this guy being
Brendan.
this
I will
genius,
agree with you.
and
I know it's
not
probably
funny,
going to get me shot.
And maybe it's timed, but the stuff Cosby was doing back in the younger years was hilarious. But I don't think Pryor.
Wasn't Richard Pryor before?
I think I think Cosby was funny until he started drugging bitches and
right.
They couldn't pay attention to what he was saying.
I don't know if he.
Hold on.
It was funnier at that
Cosby
point.
was funny until he got caught drugging.
Yeah.
No.
He was already drugging people.
I think there's something to be
and
said.
I disagree about that.
he got
I think
boring.
he's funnier now that he drugged bitches.
No, that's what I'm saying. He got caught though. He's always been drugging the bitches.
I mean, Jello pudding pop references got way better when we found out he was actually.
I'm drawing a blank. Who was the redneck comic that smoked a cigar and
Larry the Cable
White.
Ron White.
Yeah.
I think.
Now, see, he was.
I actually like him better than the other ones.
I love his. No,
Yeah.
he totally broke out. There was nothing. There was
out
no
of the
question about that.
Quattro, yeah, he was. The funniest out
I
of
like
the
the
four.
way he. Of course, you're not gonna see this on the podcast.
Yes,
But he goes to tell a joke and he goes to take a drink and then
Of his scotch,
and then,
yeah.
and then he delivers the line.
Yeah.
It's so much better live than it would be on a podcast
Right.
or whatever. And he goes to take a hit of a cigar and then he delivers the line. That's art.
That's good
You know what I
timing.
mean?
Yeah, he
That's
was.
that
He was
timing.
by
As far
far
as a
the only
live comic,
out of
when
that
he
blue
goes to take
comedy
a drink
crap
of his
that was
scotch
good.
and then he takes it down and he delivers like a bomb line,
But, like,
it's going to
he-
destroy a crowd. That's art.
He
knows.
chuckles right before, does a swig of the
Yeah.
scotch, and then he presents a line.
Right.
Like he knows, like motherfucker, this is going to be funny.
Listen, he doesn't do that on accident. He does that because
he does. Absolutely.
He knows that's.
And you know what?
Well, as you guys have always said in comedy, it's timing.
Todd McComas does a joke about him doing. If you guys know who Todd McComas is, he's a great local comic. He's a state cop and a comic. But he does a joke, and the timing is this. He said, I did a play for Christmas, and I played Joseph in a play about Christmas, about the Christmas night, about the manger or whatever. He said, and I saw Jehovah's Witnesses coming to my house, so I get my Joseph outfit, and I do the beard, the robe, or whatever. He said, and they come up to they come up to my door, and they knock. And I just answer the door, and I just look at him. Pause, 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 pause. And he points and said, I heard you've been talking about me. If he waited 1 second before or 1 second after he delivered that line, that joke would be shit.
Yeah.
It's timing.
Always.
And it's like, it's Ron White, he would take a drink of his scotch and he'd deliver the line. Or he'd take a hit off a cigar and deliver the line. That's art. Yeah. That's what we all
awesome.
To me, we all strive to do.
Yeah. To me, he was the funniest of the four.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. The other guys weren't funny.
No.
Rick,
Jeff Foxworthy was creative.
They were kitschy, but that was kitschy.
Larry the Cable Guy had a niche with the Get Her Done or whatever.
Well, that's what I'm saying right here. It was a kit. It was a kitsch and a gimmick.
Right.
Those were
and then
gimmicky.
what's the name had a Here's Your Sign thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because they were failed comics before that.
They're all funny in their own right, but Ron White, that's art. You know what I mean? When you can time a joke.
He didn't have a gimmick
to
on
the
that,
drinking
other than
your
his
scotch
drinking
or the
and
your cigar. That's art to me. You know what I mean? It's like,
he didn't have a gimmick other than drinking and
To me.
smoking. That's
But
not
I mean,
really a
with
gimmick.
the other ones, though, after a while, they kind of get burnt out and they get played out, and it's like, what else you got? You know, and if you don't have that, kind of like with what you're saying with the timing and everything like
I kind of
that.
think no disrespect.
Then you start doing
don't stay
country
around.
buffet commercials.
No disrespect. Yeah, I mean, no disrespect.
Which is
to-
Jeremy's favorite, by the way.
Right,
He loves the old
that's
country.
why I'm a big Jeff Foxworthy fan.
I mean, honestly, if I can't dip it in a chocolate fountain or gravy, I don't want to go to it.
Right, yeah. I'll dip my chicken wings in the chocolate fountain. I don't care.
He'll dip other things in his chocolate
What else
fountain.
is there to do?
Right, yeah. If the chocolate fountain's there, I should be able to dip whatever I want to.
Oh,
in
absolutely.
So
there.
you're saying your
And
wife
they get
keeps a
pissed-
chocolate fountain by the bed?
Yes, they get pissed off at you for dipping the cotton candy in the chocolate fountain. I mean, why is it right next to each other?
Right. Why is it there?
Yeah.
I should be able to. Yeah, I mean, no disrespect to the other three. I just Ron White, I think, is the.
Rick, you were trying to interject there a minute
Oh, that's
ago.
right. Just the Ron White thing is a throwback to George Burns because he always kept that cigar.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you watch
Yeah.
any of his early stand-up,
all
he
timing.
would set up the joke,
Of course.
take a drag,
Yeah.
tell the punchline. So I
Or
always,
then he would take a drag, deliver the punchline, or he would go to take a drag, deliver the punchline, and then take the drag to get the audience the reaction.
But to me,
he would give the punchline, take a drag, let him laugh, and then he would go back into his next joke.
right.
one of the best
That's art.
timing people of all time, I think, Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh,
That was the
He
one-liner,
had-
king of the one-liners.
King of the one-liners, but he did it in a timing manner that made it
Oh, he was hilarious.
brilliant. It stretched it on or did it quick.
Yeah, it was
it
like-
just depended on what he wanted to throw
Absolutely.
at you.
Yeah.
Rodney Dangerfield was one of the
It's
best.
like, oh, my wife,
comedians of all time.
my wife told me to take her somewhere for our anniversary. So she wanted to go someplace she never wanted to go. So I took her to the kitchen. You know what I mean? It's like,
No respect. No respect.
it's that little pause, and then he said, and I took her to the kitchen. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like,
Let me ask that. I mean, I know we asked our guests and all that, but who is one? Let's go with the pigs too. Cowboy, what's one of your favorite? What's one of your favorite comedians right now?
I just said him, Dangerfield.
Oh, Dangerfield,
Yeah,
really?
absolutely. One of my all-time favorite.
No, Brendan.
One of my
All-time.
all-time favorites. Right now, I think Doug Stanhope is my favorite right now going. But I think Don Rickles is one of the funniest men ever alive. The guy was a genius, and he's still funny, and he still cuts it up. He can't get out there as much anymore, but his brain still works.
Yeah.
He is so fast, and
Wholly
him
inappropriate.
and Jonathan Winters are, I think, were the quickest men
Jonathan
around.
Winters is amazing.
You know, Robin Williams, he copied him, but he was not. He was never Jonathan Winters.
No,
was just
he was
amazing.
great. He got a bad rep from doing some of the off the show with Robin Williams and all that, but he was
Winters
phenomenal.
Yeah.
He was. I like that one a lot.
Robin Williams was one of the greatest scripted comedians.
He bored me after a while, but I mean
he did, but
I couldn't get the manic part. I mean, it was okay for a little while, but it was way too manic for me to follow.
And
just for me. That's fine.
I get it.
Lewis Black is actually still one of my favorites of all time. Lewis Black, I mean, I can sit there and listen to him. He's funny as hell for me. Hunter, where you got, man?
Man, I don't know. I'm sitting here trying to think, and I mean, we kind of talked about the people that I've, kind of grew up listening to and laughing with. There was those times, where, you got your Eddie Murphys of the world, that had funny moments. But I don't think that that's someone like you were just saying, Pat, that I could just sit there and listen to all day and just love that. Yeah. There's some stuff from, I know you mentioned Dane Cook. There's some really funny shit that he's got too.
No, there's not.
But no, there's hold on. Let me finish.
That's why I love comedy. It's like it's everyone.
Everybody hears something different from it though,
yeah.
and there's something,
I mean, 95% of the people that hear Rick Garrett hate his guts, okay? There's other 5% of the people that love him.
Right,
and that's what he rides on. So
We'll think about that like beer, too.
Right. And again, there are those moments where I thought he was funny. I don't think and that's what I was kind of going with. No, I don't think he's the funniest guy out there by any means. I enjoyed a lot of what Robin Williams did, but again, some of it gets a little overplayed at times, and I think it's good to stay fresh and kind of not have just a niche that you're kind of relying on. I like those comedians that tell a lot of real stories, a lot of real life stuff where you as the listener can identify with and go, I've been there, I hear that, and that's funny. Those are the guys I like.
I don't know if he's considered a comedian anymore, but I will also say Jon Stewart.
Oh, Jon Stewart's hilarious. I mean, there's those times
I can listen to that. Yeah. I can also listen to that guy all day long.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, it's just one of those real story comedians.
Stanhope, I love. I see him. I see him a couple of times on the same tour, and it's never the same. It's never the same show.
Right.
He doesn't have a set.
Right.
He goes with the crowd, and I mean, so I just think he's a genius. But
I love the story comedians too. The ones that can spin a long yarn and or break off a little bit here and then come back and I think Lewis Black does some of that stuff, and definitely Jon Stewart can do some of that stuff. I'm trying to think of who else.
You just dated yourself by using the term yarn.
You know who the
I got it. No, don't trust me. I know
both
what
of
you're
you
talking
guys.
about. No, we know what you're talking
understood.
about. But you said yarn, and you dated yourself. Me and Rick both appreciate the fact that you said that.
I think the classic yarn spinner, and Jeremy may remember this guy, maybe not. Jerry Clower. Do you know who?
Jerry Clower is the first comic I ever.
I know that name.
He was a country comic. He was always on like the
Hee-Haw?
Hee-Haws of the world.
Hee-Haw.
Was he on Hee-Haw?
The old.
Was he on Hee-Haw?
Yeah.
No.
The
I
Grand
know
Old
that name.
Opry.
Not he was a regular.
The
but he
Grand
made a
Old
couple of
Opry.
special appearances.
Yeah, he was
Midwestern
an old
hayride.
Yeah.
I know that name, Jerry Clower. I'm going to have to look that up. While
Yeah,
you
you
guys
should
keep talking.
because he's
Go
got
for it.
a lot of funny stories of just about. I
Growing
can't
up
believe you.
in the hills of Alabama.
Damn you, Rick! And now I got to go look up Jerry Clower now because he's one of my favorites. I mean, growing up, we had 8-track tapes of Jerry Clower when I was a kid. Growing up,
So
and,
he had 8 sets on that track, or what?
Yeah, it's 8 tracks.
What's
Because
an
it's called an 8-track
Cowboy
tape.
Cowboy has no idea what
You
you're talking
tool.
about.
No, Cowboy does know. That's the sad thing.
Yeah.
That's
Cowboy.
even older
But
than
yeah, Jerry
Pokemon.
Clower and yeah.
That's older than
Red
yarn.
Skelton. That's what I growing up. That's my mom.
Red
Red
Skelton
Red
was on-
Skelton.
yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
And I mean now I like Patton Oswalt.
Patton
Oh,
Oswalt's
Patton is
good.
amazing.
He is
Great.
really good.
I
Nerd,
like
funny stuff.
I like
he does some good stuff.
Patton Oswalt, it's real hit or miss for me.
Well, yeah, and that's what comedy's about. I mean, you're gonna love some things he does, and you're gonna totally hate some things he does.
And I absolutely agree. He's just one of those ones that will take me to that limit. There's not a lot of comedians out there that I'm like, oh, that's really funny. That sucks. That's really funny. That sucks.
Yeah.
That's really. He is though.
But that should be that roller coaster ride.
And then there's even before I started doing comedy, Dave Attell has an album. Has an album called Skanks for the Memories.
I completely almost forgot about him.
Skanks for the Memories, and it changed my life. It's just like it's almost one of those albums that made me want to do comedy.
I remember. I love watching like what's that old show Attell used to do?
Insomniac.
Where he was drunk at night and just
And
roaming around.
He would like follow the milkman around, and he'd go to the convenience store.
Dude, that
And,
show was hilarious.
Brendan-
it's the best thing ever.
Brendan's like, no, he
No, I
didn't
couldn't
like
get into him at all.
You like Stanhope, but you didn't like Attell?
Didn't
Brendan-
like David Tell at all.
I
You,
don't-
sir,
I don't
are an
understand
idiot.
that. Yeah, I don't understand that.
Punch him. You can punch him. It's okay.
Right in the titty. Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, if you get a chance, go listen to Dave Attell's "Skanks for the Memories." It's the best thing you'll ever listen to, and it changed my life. And it's one of the things that made me want to do comedy.
That's awesome.
He was actually on the show. What's the blonde chick that she's
the
now?
man? No, that was somebody.
Amy Schumer.
Yeah, he was with Amy Schumer. He was on her Trainwreck movie.
Trainwreck, yes.
Yeah.
He was the funniest part of the whole fucking movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
shut
besides John Cena.
John Cena was funny in that.
Dun 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 dun.
I think Soupy Sales is probably the guy that probably changed my life.
Soupy?
Oh, man, I forgot about Soupy Sales.
I have no idea.
Yes. What the hell is that? Liar. Full o' shit.
Yeah.
Brendan, full o' shit.
I'll let the go off the menu and say Slappy the Clown really is the one that made me.
So
I don't. The only thing I remember is Soupy is getting hit with a pie. I don't even remember stand up.
Sha-na-na.
I love Sha-na-na.
Bowser.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're
Hey, guys. So we're getting close to the end of this second segment with you guys. Tell us a little bit about where you're going to be in the upcoming future. Where can we go check you all out at?
Officially, right now, I'm going to be doing the Hee Haw review with Rick Garrett here in October at
Where's
10
that
West.
Wait a minute, time out. Who's going to play the hot chick?
Holly will be playing the hot chick.
I'm excited
Cowboy.
for that.
We got Holly or Brendan. Brendan is the understudy.
I was
for the
really
hot chick.
concerned when Rick
I
or
know
Jeremy
all
was going
the
to be
lines.
playing it.
No,
I'm ready to
Brendan's
go.
the understudy. Holly's up front, so if she gets sick or whatever, we got Brendan on deck.
Nice.
On
and
deck?
so everything else is
That's
kind
a
of up in the
first.
air for me. I'm
Time
just
out.
writing, and
I got a lot bigger set than Brendan does.
no, it
You know
doesn't
what I mean?
matter. We can fix that. So that's what's coming up with me in October.
Where's that at again?
It's at 10 West Center in
Fortville,
Indiana.
All right.
Oh.
Used to be an old church, and it's a really cool. The kids kind of run
So
it.
do you sit in pews like the Ryman?
Yes,
Fantastic.
basically you do.
Yeah,
It's like it's an old church.
Is there something sacrilegious
into a-
about telling
No,
something?
no.
I mean,
No more than John
No,
Denver.
it's like a really
no.
cool. Like
Throw
the
back
kids,
to the
the
hee
kids
haw.
have
Throw
like,
back to hee haw.
Yeah, the kids have like. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rick. They have like a theater there where they do plays and musical and
Yeah.
stuff, and then they have other things like a hee haw review or comedy shows. Everything. It's just a really neat place where they have entertainment in Fortville. It's a small town.
Yeah.
I think it's Holly's hometown. You were born
my,
there, right?
my aunt lives up there.
Yep.
Really?
It's a great place. 10 West Center for the Arts. It's a 125-seat theater. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's really, really
state-of-the-art.
cool.
Yeah, state-of-the-art
Nice.
sound and video
Just
system.
small place. It's
Incredible.
awesome.
Very cool.
Really
Yeah.
incredible.
One of my favorite places in the world to see any kind of show, the Ryman.
Yep.
It's you're sitting in pews. It's almost like you're being preached to.
Yep.
Right.
In a song or comedian type atmosphere. So
Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's really cool, and I'm looking forward to it as well. So,
It's awesome.
Cool.
Where are you at?
Rick, what do you got going on?
I've got actually a few dates coming up.
right.
August the 3rd, I'm going to be at the Fayette County Fair with Dave the King Wilson.
Oh,
and that's
nice.
a free show. That's going to be fun. That's right. Then August the 6th, I will be in Evansville, Indiana at the Tropicana Resort. So
Oh, wow.
that's
Yeah.
for
There's a
the
Tropicana in Evansville?
Yeah, there is.
Tropicana.
Tropicana on the Ohio River,
Yep,
man.
yep,
That
yep,
is
yep.
awesome.
Because when I think Tropicana and
Evansville.
I think Evansville and the Ohio River.
Absolutely.
August the
Why
No,
wouldn't you?
No, I'm just kidding.
August the 8th,
That's awesome.
Holly and I will be playing the Indiana State Fair as musicians at the Pioneer Village.
Oh, so you're a musician
cool.
too?
I am.
What do you play?
I play guitar, hammer dulcimer, mountain dulcimer, keys.
All right.
If you ever get a chance to go see Rick and Holly in their musical, it's amazing.
Have you come up to Alley's for their open mic night?
Oh, I didn't even know they had an open mic.
They
Wednesday
Nico's open stage open mic night every Wednesday night.
You do
Oh,
now.
very cool.
It's nominated for. The
It
best
is actually
open mic.
nominated.
It is.
Yes.
Look up, yeah. Look
what-
up Rick and Holly. They're amazing musicians,
they are.
as well
Awesome.
as comedian, and they sound great. And you should definitely go check them out.
well,
wherever they're at.
our buddy Nick here too. Yeah, like every Wednesday night. Just
Cool.
hop on in, sign up, and you're ready to go.
So let's see.
They do comedy too. Actually, you can.
Oh,
You
awesome.
can, they do. If you want comedy routine, you can actually do that here too.
You can do both.
one of our little skits.
Oh, he huss. Wait. Hold on.
Hey, pick one or the other, Rick. Stay in your lane, all right?
What kind of skit?
Stay in your lane, Rick, all right? Let's pick one or the other.
That's my pet peeve when I do a show out on the road someplace. Always somebody after the show will come up and say, here's a joke. You can use it in your little skit. Never fails. Never fails. Let's see. August 13th will be at Hotel Broad Ripple. Did you know there's a hotel in Broad Ripple?
I had no idea.
It's an amazing place.
I thought that was the jail.
Go.
They were all the college.
They got the Hoochie Mama suite and the free condoms.
That's where the college kids go.
Yeah, we've all
on
played
a
that.
Friday and Saturday night at the Broad Ripple Jail, don't they?
We've all played that show many times.
Seriously, it's an amazing place. They have concerts there and lectures. And
I honestly didn't know that.
Nice.
Go look up Hotel
That's good
Broad
to
Ripple.
know. Good to hear.
August 16th, I'll be at Greenwood Village with the very funny Jeanette Perez. You know Jeanette. She's extremely funny.
Very funny
and
lady.
I'm going to head up to Goshen
Love
with
Jeanette.
Dave Dugan. So
Nice.
you can check me out online at rickgarrett.net, or our music website is patchworkmusic.net.
Hey, one last question. What's your MySpace page?
It's
I see what you did there, and I like
She
it.
caught me at myspace.com.
Catfishing at
Wait, you turned
myspace.com.
into
Catfishing.
Pokemon Go. Rick's a Pokemon.
Jeremy, obviously we can catch you, get you on Facebook, right? And look
Yeah,
you
you can look me up on Facebook to see where I'm going to be. I have a Twitter account. It's called Fitness Enter.
I love that.
At Fitness Enter. Fitness_N_ER. And
you're on Twitter?
No.
Kinda.
He's
Are you on
competing with
Instagram?
He's competing with us on Instagram.
The best place to pick me up is really on MySpace if you want to. On Tinder, farmersfriend.com.
You were real easy to pick up on Rural and Prospect the other night.
Jew date. I don't know. It's like
he picks them all. He's
yeah.
He's got a wicked social media.
Yeah, so I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. So look me up, see where I'm going to be at.
Awesome.
And hopefully we got the He All show coming up, and that'll be fun. So.
We'll get your pages linked on ours, and you also you can check them out by going to our friends page over on blindpitconfessions.com. Check out our podcasts. You can grab them there too as well.
Yes, we'll be on, of course, NEN Tune Radio. You can hear us there as well. And thank you guys again for coming on, Jeremy.
Hey, it's been a blast.
Having you guys.
Thanks for having us, guys. It's been awesome.
Hey, this has been a blast, guys. Thank you all for coming out.
America, we're glad, although you made us sad for many, many long and weary years. With your war against the rum, we all got on the bum, but we're thankful that you gave us back the beer. What are we gonna do with that old home brew? We do not need it since we have the beer. We do not want the brew, although we know it's true. When days were dark, it was to us so dear. America, you see, prohibition could not be. You made your law against the rock and rye. Your law was on the line, all the spirits we could not find. The boys were drowning wet while you were dry. What are we gonna do with that old home brew? We do not need it since we have the beer. We do not want the brew, although we know it's true. When days were dark, it was to us so dear. We're glad we're living in your happy land. Here's drinking to your health, may your future all be wealth, with a glass of foam and beer in either hand. What are we gonna do with that old home brew? We do not need it since we have the beer. We do not want the brew, although we know it's true. When days are dark, it was